What would the test look like? What?
Yeah, what would it look like?
You're just a cruel man, Reed. You're a cruel, cruel man. Well, I want a better relationship with God.
Okay.
Not that it's a bad one, it's a good one. It's just I want to strengthen it. So I will choose, does a God exist?
Okay.
For 20, Reed.
For 20.
It sounds like a talk show.
So, does a God exist? Well, how do you feel about that?
Well, I feel good about it. Like I said before you started that hourglass, I want a better relationship with God. Does a God exist? Yes.
So, yes, a God does exist.
Uh-huh.
Any particular God?
Nope.
Just God?
Yep. Something, a higher power outside of ourselves. Some kind of creator. Some kind of intelligence.
Higher power, creator, intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
Anything else more specific about this God? Any other attributes?
No. Something outside of our personal will.
Something outside of our personal
Something
will?
bigger than will. Man's will.
Bigger than man's will.
Yeah.
So I like to get a sense of people's confidence about whatever they think is
Confidence?
true. Yeah, like say on a scale from 0 to 100.
Okay.
If 0 is not confident at all questions, and 100 is no doubt, no question. Like,
Yep, I got it.
Gotcha. What do you think? Where would you fall on that scale for this?
About does a God exist?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. It's really confident. Personally, I have to give you a number.
You don't
want a
have
number?
to. I mean, it helps a little bit.
Okay. Does a God exist? Yes. 90%.
Yeah, it's just your personal confidence about it.
Personal confidence. Yeah, that's my belief that a God exists. Yes.
Okay. So a little bit of doubt there at 10%,
Yeah.
but very confident still at 90%.
Yeah, because I'm leaving 10% of the empirical factor in a certain way because it's a personal belief. But the culture, I'm allowing for the 10% standard deviation, I guess.
Okay. Like it's possible you could be mistaken about this? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying? Yeah. Okay.
But it really, yeah, go ahead.
So what is like the main reason why you feel this is true?
That there is a God, that God does exist.
Yeah.
That a God exists. I think it was born out of pain.
What do you mean by that?
It was born out of personal pain where even me as a very willful person have been through not crazy stuff, but on an emotional level I think it coincided with pain. So a certain level of emotional pain with a creative some desire that there's something outside of me that I have not been paying attention to.
So you've gone through some emotional pain.
Mm-hmm.
How does that relate to the God
Well,
being true?
where for me, being in some kind of pain, it birthed an opening to something greater than myself that maybe I wasn't paying attention to as a direction of relief.
Okay. So, did you have a belief in a God before this emotional pain got you to something?
No, actually, it was. I never really, I grew up Jewish. I'm not religious, but no, I never really thought about it too much. But then I became a chiropractor, and not sure you're aware, but chiropractors talk about universal intelligence and innate intelligence. It doesn't talk about God, but it talks about a kind of a universal intelligence that is healing within us. No matter what we do, bad or good, it's always seeking healing, I guess you can say. And so it kind of started there,
Okay.
and then as I got older and more experiences in pain, life experiences, it kind of coalesced together to, where's my relationship with God?
That's interesting. It's some type of universal intelligence inside us that wants us to heal.
Yeah,
Is
that's based in chiropractic philosophy. The creator of chiropractic talks about that a lot.
Okay. And that's a separate thing from God itself. Is that as equivalent?
It's an equivalent without it's how you say, it's paralleling without
Yeah.
getting religious. It has the same essence.
Same concept.
Yes.
Very similar.
Yeah,
type
it
of
just
thing.
doesn't use the word.
Gotcha. So you had some emotional pain, and then you had a desire that there's something outside of yourself because of that pain.
Oh well,
to
the
transcend
pain.
it?
The pain sort of met with some kind of desire or some what's the word, curiosity about my relationship with God. Religions talk about, I'm not a very religious person. I'm not at all. But I do believe in a higher power.
You believe it.
Yeah. And then as I got older, like even present day, I was like, I think I need to work on those muscles a little. They're a little weak. I just feel like they are. I tend to focus too much on maybe my own pure will to solve things. And that might not do me good all the time.
If you only focus on your own
My own pure will.
then you'll be less likely to solve certain problems. Or
I don't think it's, I'm probably less effective as I could be. I need probably a little more surrender and something higher power, that the answers will come, that my own pure will or stressing to figure out something is not going to work all the time.
So if you appeal to something higher,
Yep.
you'll find better ways of solving problems? Or
As a part of the solution, for sure.
as a part of the solution?
Yep.
Okay. Like if this God was not real, you would be less likely to solve problems or be able to do it more as effectively as you are now?
It sounds weird coming out of your mouth, but yes, I think so.
Okay. I don't want to.
No, you're not.
mischaracterize.
Trust me, you're not influencing me.
Okay.
I liked it, but you're not.
Okay.
No.
Cool. So, like, if this wasn't the case, which I'm not saying is not the case, but if it wasn't the case that a God exists, would you want to know that?
Sure.
Okay. Is this belief testable in any way?
Oh, wow. If there is a God, I don't think there is. I don't think it's testable.
It's not testable. Like, there's no way
No,
to tell if it's one way or the other.
no.
Yet you're 90% confident it is real.
But it's not testable.
It's not testable.
You're welcome for reading. I don't know why I'm saying that.
Would you prefer it to be testable if you had that? If it was?
If I had that option?
If you had that option?
Oh, that's a great question, Reed. That is probably the best one. Finally, you asked a good question. I'm just messing. Oh, wow. What I want to test. This is not the question, but I wouldn't need it to be, A. But if it was testable, would I like to know? Sure.
Sure.
Yes.
And
Why
if it was,
not?
if it was testable, how do you think that would be? What's
What would be the outcome?
Yeah, what's an example of something you could do, or how
If
would
it were testable?
Yeah.
What would the test look like? What?
Yeah, what would it look like?
You're just a cruel man, Reed. You're a cruel, cruel man. What would a test be? What would it look like if there was a test to see if God was real? No, Reed, you can't. No. I don't know why you're sending me down. I'm going to start cussing. No, it's just sending me down frustration lane. No. What would a test look like? Well, I don't think it would be visual. I don't think it would. Oh, auditory. Because, I've seen this thing marketed now where you can put this device up to a tree and hear its sounds. So that's interesting. I don't know if it'd be auditory. Would it be olfactory? Could you smell God? No. Oh, well, maybe it would be electromagnetic. No, I don't know, Reed. Stop it. Stop. I can't. I'm trying to play by your rules, but it's just not working.
You currently feel that it's not testable.
It's not testable.
How do you feel about having beliefs that are not testable?
I feel good.
You feel good.
I can allow for that.
Are any beliefs that anyone has not true?
Are any beliefs... Say it again.
Does anyone believe in something that's not true?
That's not empirically testable. What do you mean? What?
Yeah, does anyone have any beliefs that are false or not true or not accurate about reality?
Yeah. Crazy people. Oh, and not even crazy people. Yes.
Yeah.
I can't quantify a better answer, but yes, beyond crazy people, yes,
Would
people.
you prefer to have your beliefs more accurately align with reality? What is the case?
Would I prefer it? No, in this case, not necessarily. I don't need it always like that. But yeah, I tend to be somebody that gets to the bottom of something.
Yeah, and it seems like one way of figuring out whether something is the case is if a belief is testable, or if it can be disproved in some way.
Science.
If we can look into it and disprove it.
What about it?
Those types of beliefs are good ways. Those beliefs can be shown to be mistaken. And if it
can be some when put up to scrutiny and testability, it could be proved that they're not real, or there's no proof.
So if someone values believing true things, that seems to also entail valuing that beliefs be testable, because if they're not testable, there's no way to tell if they're true or not, if they're accurate or not. Does that make sense?
I lost you a little, but was there a question?
I'm trying to, so you currently feel this is not testable. You're 90% confident it is true.
Correct.
I don't know how to tell if something is true or not unless it's testable.
You do.
Yeah. How do you know that it's true?
How do I know?
Yeah.
It's a belief. It's a feeling.
a feeling. Are feelings a reliable way to come to true beliefs like this?
Actually, it's interesting you use the word true, but yeah, for things like God and love, I think it's based in feeling. It's not empirically measurable. I don't think they could stand up to the scientific model.
So God is similar to or analogous to love, how it's not empirical
Immeasurable.
and measurable.
It wouldn't stand. They wouldn't probably stand up to the scientific model.
Is love not measurable?
I don't think so. I think physiologic reactions are, but I don't think love in itself is quantifiable.
It's different from like the chemistry.
Respiration, heart rate, things like that, pupil dilation, whatever it is. All that is measurable, but I don't know if love itself is measurable. I mean, I'm not the expert on that, but I don't know how you would quantify that.
If we could measure love in some way, how would you feel about that?
That'd be fun to know.
That'd be fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
How do I feel about believing in something that's not quantifiable or measurable? I feel good about it.
you feel good about it?
Yeah.
Is there anything you could learn or find out to change your confidence about it one way or the other?
Is there anything I could learn?
Yeah, see.
I'd want to learn?
Yeah, anything you could see, discover.
I mean, that'd be great.
That you're
I'm
currently
open to
at
that,
90.
sure.
Anything you could discover that would lower your confidence about it?
I'm sure.
What's something like? Could do
Well,
that?
I'm sure science would do a hell of a time wanting to debunk these radical ideas that I'm presenting right now. They would have a field day because they don't do very well with probably left brain activity.
You're
Or is
saying-
it backwards?
I'm not sure what the.
Creative
What
brain,
that
they
is.
probably don't do well with, feeling and creative brain. They probably only work in the realm of possibility of scientific model, everything quantifiable and measurable.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to know, sure.
Yeah, so you're at 90%. There's some things you could learn to find out to change your confidence about it.
About God, if he exists, if it exists.
Yeah.
What I want to? Yeah, sure.
Like, are there things? What are some potential things you could see?
Oh, are there?
Yeah, to lower your confidence about it.
Oh, to increase my confidence and or lower it.
Yeah, whatever. Up or down.
Are there things? I don't think there are.
Like, could something happen
No.
that could make you super confident about it? Like 99%? 100%?
I think some kind of internal existential, alchemical, probably due to some experience in my life, hopefully good. Let's just put that out there.
So personal experience, you feel you could go through to increase your confidence about it?
It will bring up probably some kind of internal awareness. Yeah.
Okay. Could you go through a personal experience and lower your confidence about it?
I'm sure through heartbreak and pain, it could probably cause that to go into more question for sure, thus lowering the percentage from 90.
How would going through something like that relate to it actually being the case?
Well, because I think people have been through a lot of painful things in their life. And, I think a common and understandable thing to come into question is if this is so, then how come this happened? Not that.
Yeah.
It was interesting what I touched on, but yeah. So
Yeah, people feel like that. If bad things happen, then
How could there be a God?
Yeah.
Why would he allow that?
But there could be a God that allows bad things to happen.
For sure.
So
I'm just saying pain could be a motivator. I've not been through, thank God, so far, something that would push me that far into the depths of my brain. You know, I also don't feel like a breakup would have me going to kill somebody, but thank God. But
okay,
terminology like that's interesting. There's something innate.
cool. Well,
But yeah,
So what got you to the 90%? It was feeling emotional pain and just desiring something. Like, just because we desire something to be the case, does that make it the case?
that wasn't my total answer. I said pain met with some kind of creative desire
Okay.
for something outside of myself, collectively.
Just because we feel pain, and we feel a creative desire for something to be the case? Does that make it the case?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
No.
So
It just did for me.
it just did for you. Are there any better ways to come to this belief? Any better reasons?
Better reasons?
Yeah.
No better.
No better than
No
that?
better.
Yet this reason doesn't necessarily lead you to the God being true?
Lead me to the belief?
Yeah.
It does, but it doesn't make it better than how someone else found it.
Yeah. Like, if this reason doesn't guarantee you that it's true, why use the reason?
Was that the end of the sentence?
Yeah.
What? Say it again?
If a reason doesn't guarantee you, or very highly likely lead you to a certain conclusion, why use the reason to come to the belief?
It's just one. I wouldn't use it. It's one possible reason that came from me.
Yeah, and is that reason reliable for coming to
For other people?
for yourself, for anyone?
Say it again.
Is this reason a reliable way to come to this belief?
I think it's a common reliability, and I think it's probably shared amongst a lot of people, probably for a reason they have found a similar destination as I have.
Could someone use this reason to believe in something that's not true?
Yes.
And if someone did that and just came up to the table saying they believe something that's not,
Based on the same answer,
based on
but
the same
but
reason,
the different result.
yeah, how could we tell which one was more accurate in their beliefs?
I was going to say initially you couldn't, but if someone had a lot of emotional conflict about probably a certain negative event, and they were still incomplete, for lack of a better word, then the purity in some way would probably be cause a little suspiciousness.
I didn't quite follow that.
Meaning, if someone had some kind of tragedy that they were still carrying around and they were unhealed about it and still in conflict and twisted up and had opinions about it, then it would probably cause a lot of suspicion in how they're getting to the result of, let's say, how there is no God.
Okay.
That would probably call it into question.
Yeah, could someone use the same reason to believe there is a God and believe there's not a God?
Correct. Without that possibility that I raised, yes, it could go either way. Yes, that they're there through pain and some kind of existential, creative process,
Okay.
they have arrived at there is no God. Could they get to that as I've gone to the sort of the possibility that there is? Yes. Yeah, I believe that.
So if a reason can get you to completely opposite conclusions, how do you feel about that reason as a reason?
I mean, I'd be okay. So, well, I was about to answer it, and you just brought up the question. I'd actually be really curious to be on your end of the table with those people.
Uh-huh.
I would probably find something in their character that would make me curious of how they got to the possibility that there wouldn't be a God.
You feel it could be like a character flaw in them?
I don't know if I'd use the word, but yeah, I mean, without like, splitting hairs, what your choice of words, yeah,
Okay.
there'd be some kind of trauma that is unhealed. I'd be curious.
Okay. And the trauma that people go through could cause people to believe in certain things and some other things, or not believe in certain things.
For sure.
But does just having a trauma, does trauma relate to whatever's true?
Does trauma relate to whether something is true?
Yeah. If someone is believing something because of trauma and they had more trauma, a lot of it, does that make it more true because of that trauma?
It could reinforce things that were already held in belief before. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just wondering how trauma relates to the belief actually being true
Or not?
or not. Not their confidence in it, but but just whether the belief is.
You're saying how could trauma, Harold? How could trauma, someone who's been through trauma, lead them to the path opposite of yours? That they conclude that there is no belief, that there is no such thing as God.
Yeah, I'm thinking trauma could lead you to a bunch of different conclusions.
For
but
sure.
if we relied on just mere trauma, we would have no way of figuring out what's true.
Everything?
Yeah.
No, I think some things are probably better able to be separated, clarified, because of someone's trauma about what they believe in, how something that they've been through has brought them to some kind of conclusion,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, trauma may influence people's beliefs.
Not may.
Yeah, maybe.
Actually, that was an interesting slip right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it pretty much does. Probably by definition.
It,
If I looked up the definition, it would probably say trauma
yeah, it'd be hard for trauma to not
changes
change
someone's
you.
belief about everything. By definition. But I like the word may.
Yeah, maybe.
Safe.
Yeah, it's safe. So cool. I think we've explored a lot. Anything else about that, Harold? Are you still at 90%? Or does that change?
Yeah, I think I'm still at 90%. I think I feel good about it regardless. I mean, I'll probably think on it more, but I think I feel good about, even if it's not quantifiable, I'm open to the idea that there is no God, but it doesn't matter. I'm still good about believing in a higher power, and it systemically improves my life straight across the board. So far as I can see, I haven't found a negative side effect because of it. although a mild case of delusion might be there
Yeah,
that might
yeah.
influence me that
I
I'm not
mean,
aware of. But
yeah, people can.
so far,
Yeah,
I'm pretty good about the feeling that there's a higher power, and
yeah, people can believe things for their utility, but also, should we believe? Should we care about what if our beliefs are true or not?
do we care?
Yeah, like,
Oh, I care.
should
I don't
that
know if
should that
I do.
supersede the utility of the belief?
I know you said English words, but
Like,
it didn't quite
If
compute.
you had to choose between truth and
Belief?
comfort, or truth and the utility
Belief?
of the belief, yeah, like,
Both are great. One probably doesn't supersede the other.
if you had to choose,
I was just thinking,
if you had to
it came
choose
full
like an uncomfortable truth or a comfortable false belief,
uncomfortable truth.
uncomfortable truth.
Yeah, but yeah,
That includes the non-existence of a god.
sure.
Okay.
I think, yeah. I'm thinking it's probably quantifiable. That something within us heals regardless of always positive outcome, because people get sick and they die and things happen, right? I think it's probably in the scientific model that something is quantifiable within us, that there's some self-auto-regulating healing mechanism, and it's not one organ system, but some sort of thing.
If it's like physical matter changing, that seems to be testable, or
Right, like the body is
quantifiable
always
in
seeking
principle.
the body is always not seeking, the body is always kind of driving towards homeostasis. And those are scientific terminologies, and this is kind of how we started our conversation. But I think those are scientific terminologies that could very easily be interchanged with using the word God in them,
Okay.
because they can't determine. They probably don't come. Science probably doesn't come on its own merit. You probably have the results, spontaneous healing, things of that nature that happen that can't be.
And that seems very testable. If there's spontaneous healing,
I don't know if doctors would like that, Reed. They don't do well with that assumption, because if it's out of their science mind of being quantifiable, they usually try to poo-poo it, because if it's not measurable, they don't like it.
would spontaneous healing not be measurable?
Spontaneous, yes, but it could not be explained by them through the science method,
Why not?
because it what's the word? Not supersedes. It skips steps. It ends up at a result that they can't measure through the steps.
So it just happens, and they can't explain how it happens.
They can't measure it. One could explain it, but they couldn't measure it. So someone wakes up after a diagnosis completely healed, and they go back to their doctor. Their doctor puts them through tests, and they're like, yeah, what the hell happened? Well, this is what happened last night. It would not stand up to the scientific model, but you would still have the result of spontaneous healing. And so,
Spontaneous healing is one hypothesis of why that is, of why whatever happened. Yet there could be possible other explanations.
sure, but I'm saying it's not measurable.
Possibly. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's why probably like the creator of chiropractic, and I'm not even that, I mean, I do other work, but that's why he called it a science, art, and a philosophy, because just the science of healing would be too mono vision. It'd be too funneled in. It wouldn't account for the art, the philosophy, and the creativity of healing that is probably necessary if you're going to talk about it thoroughly.
Well, yeah, that's like a whole other topic.
It is. Reed, this was super fun.
Awesome. I'm glad you liked it.
It was.
Check out Street Epistemology. There's lots
This
of
is you,
videos.
right, that I stumbled on?
That's the website.
Oh.
You can find me on the community tab of that.
But yours is Street.
You can find me on
Just use the word street?
Cordial Curiosity is my YouTube channel.
Cordial Curiosity. I
Yeah.
like that too, by the way.
Thank you.
I really liked it.
This is fun.
Thanks, Reed.
See you around, hopefully.
Good luck.
Thanks. Bye.